What's up, my peeps? Told you about this moment. It is here. Though I must admit, I am a bit surprised of the number of coaches that we are talking about have been let go. I thought we'll even have a few more, but as of right now, at least I thought one more. But as of right now, I want to start with that because we just passed what they call Black Monday, and it was a Black Monday for some coaches. You know what I mean? For some other coaches and some other coaches also. Antonio Pierce today was let go from the Los Angeles Raiders. I was really disappointed for Antonio Pierce, not disappointed in Antonio Pierce, and there are two different things here because I know the kind of mess he took over. People forget they had brought in Josh McDaniels in his second stint here to be his second stint as an NFL head coach with the Raiders. Antonio Pierce was working with him. That team was in an uproar. It was ready to not show up on the practice field and not show up at a game because Josh McDaniels had made it so bad in turbulence. They're trying to do the Patriot thing instead of doing it the Raiders way. So Antonio Pierce stepped in, calmed it down, and then they thought he earned the opportunity to get to continue to lead. But they never gave him a quarterback. So I'm just saying, I hope two things. I hope that this doesn't destroy his opportunity to one day become a head coach and have a quarterback because Antonio Pierce last year jumped on every table to try to get Jayden Daniels. Say they'll give up everybody to get that quarterback. And people work with him said, we're not doing that. And now they're saying, we're letting you go. I always thought something was going to happen there. I told people today on TV, I was at that game, at the fight, the Mike Tyson fight with Jerry, and got a chance to be around Mark Davis. And we talked about Antonio Pierce. And I was lukewarm on the feeling he gave me because he was like, really hope it works. You know, I really hope it works. And I do believe he really hoped it worked. But I didn't feel like he really felt that it was going to work at that time, at that time. And obviously today, my good friend and I think a great dude got let go. Antonio Pierce. Gerard Mayo already got let go. Doug Peterson let go. The interesting one out of the two, first of all, Doug Peterson and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm shocked that didn't work out. I thought that would have been a great hire for Trevor Lawrence. And we can put it on Doug Peterson all we want. But sooner or later, people are going to have to start putting some of the blame on Trevor Lawrence. I mean, for what they're doing on the football field in Jacksonville. The Gerard Mayo, I'll talk this one real fast, and then I want to talk some of the playoffs and all that stuff. But this one is interesting because as we were shooting the show, we shot over that Cosmo place where you sit down and watch the game. And it's almost like you're in the game. It's phenomenal, actually. But we were over there and they were talking already about, Gerard Mayo and why they let him go and how things just didn't work out. And even today, they've already run through Byron Leftwich. I think they brought him in as to interview with New England. So what it looks like to me, they're getting all the Rooney Rule stuff out of the way, the requirements out of the way. Because I've heard that they're ready to hire Mike Vrabel. That all of this was made for Mike Vrabel because Mike Vrabel will have an opportunity to have other opportunities. And New England did not want to lose this opportunity of hiring him. Remember, Mike Vrabel was really the first picked to success, to be the successor to Bill Belichick. But Bill stayed around probably a little longer than they expected. and then still won a little longer than they expected. And he went on and got a head coaching job in Tennessee. Did a pretty good job. And now Robert Kraft did not want that to happen again with Gerard Mayo, so he wrote language in the contract when Gerard Mayo was getting interviews that if he just stayed, he would absolutely be the next head coach. And we've seen what has happened already with Gerard Mayo. Be interesting to see if Vrabel, with all the opportunities he had, will go back and take that job. I know it's where he played, but boy, one of the things I thought he said that he wanted a place with an established quarterback. And his name has popped up in Dallas and other places. So that'll be interesting to watch all of that. I want to give some love to the man I must give love to, because anytime you come in my world and you step on top of the world and you grab all the crowns off the table, that means you are a Triple Crown winner. Ja'Marr Chase, the 2024 Receiver of the Year, Triple Crown winner. 127 receptions, 1,708 yards, 17 TDs, all what they call leads, the NFL. Why is this so important? Because we went back and forth fighting with Ja'Marr Chase, we mean in Cincinnati, about his contract. They could have gotten a better deal last year than they will get this year. Whatever they offer, whatever was on the table, those numbers just went up. They just went up. Remember, they didn't want to make him the highest paid over Justin Jefferson. Or they wanted to at least wait to this year because he was a year younger. But whatever the case, when you're coming off a Triple Crown year now, you get to write your own check. And I love the fact that their quarterback is stepping in and speaking up for both of his receivers. I haven't melted my brain enough to understand if it will always work, if it will work this way. When you have two big-time receivers, bank-wise, even though they're two number ones, bank-wise, will it work? I have been under the influence and always be. It's like the Cooper thing. You know, I like messing with those two. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. I like messing with them. I always mess with that Puka. So don't start acting like I'm just having fun with my guys. But what I mean by that is an established one like Kupp and then a drafted one like Puka. And you come in and play great ball with and win games with. And that's what I thought Dallas needs. Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins are both up. T. Higgins played on the franchise tag, but he didn't have this kind of year. T. Higgins did do one thing. He fired his agent that couldn't get the deal he wanted last year, and he hired my guy Rocky, who is also Ja'Marr Chase's agent. So now I believe it gives Cincinnati a chance to keep them both, the Triple Crown winner and T. Higgins, now that they're under the same representation. Now, I want to get into some of this NFL playoffs now that we got that stuff out the way, because none of us is going to be part of this weekend's event. Let's get into some of these weekend's events. No. Maybe y'all got it right. The first thing coming into this weekend, I know we're talking about that Chargers-Texans game and the Steelers-Ravens game on Saturday. But the first question I got to ask is, will Jalen Hurts play on Sunday? Will Jalen Hurts play? Big question we talked about all day on TV, so I got to place it here. And the reality is, I don't know how mandatory it is that he plays Sunday. I believe they can beat the Packers even with Kenny Pickett. I really do. It'll be a close game. It's not a game that they want to go into without him, but I believe they can beat him because the significant injury in that game is Christian Watson. You know, you say what you will, and people don't give him enough credit for what he means to the Green Bay Packers. I saw it firsthand last year when they did that thing, the way they did that thing in Dallas. And that all comes off big plays. You know who's very good at stopping big plays in the National Football League? I think there's like second in the league. Very, very good. Very, very good. Yeah, that's right. The team they're playing, the Philadelphia Eagles, they don't give up big plays. They don't give up big plays when you got a full house. And now you have lost your big play maker. I've been talking about how big of a hit this is for the Packers. I first want to say I wish this man a speedy recovery, Christian Watson, with that ACL. I wish him a speedy recovery, but this is going to hurt the Packers' chances at getting and winning that game against the Eagles. Now, Jalen Hurts, if he plays, then we're not even talking. I don't believe about a game here. But if he doesn't play, I still believe that Philadelphia Eagles at home can take care of the Packers minus Christian Watson because he is that big play guy. Now I'm jumping around, but I wanted to talk Jalen Hurts first. Now let's go back and start on that Saturday game because that Saturday's Chargers-Texans game told me something. As I break down this game, I look at it this way. Look at all the Texans has lost, and look what the Chargers just picked up. The Texans have lost, receivers to injuries all year, has dealt with injuries all year, and, still got some major players out for the rest of the season, Diggs and those guys, major players out for the rest of the season. The Chargers have just signed Ezekiel Elliott to the practice squad. And what I was thinking about when they were tinkering around and talking about, we're going to sign Ezekiel Elliott. I thought, wow, this is just going to be a physical game. The Chargers are coming into this whole playoffs saying, I have to beef up my physicalness. That's why they signed it. We got to beef up our physicalness. And that for the Texans, I think is going to be a little bit too much. That's why I think the Chargers can get down, get in Texas and still win here. Because I believe they're going to come in, the Chargers, and be hyped and just be physical. Excuse me. Coach Moore is going to use the run game to set up the passing game. The Texans depleted, in their passing game. I just don't see how the Chargers don't win that game. Now, I can't see how the Chargers don't win that game. If C.J. Stroud just play one of those out-of-body experience games and do some things, then they'll have a chance to win that game. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me tell you what made me change my mind. Because right now I'm watching the game here, right? I'm watching the Lakers and Mavericks game. Dallas is up 67-59 right now. And when we were shooting today, we were joking around about how the Lakers and the Mavericks game, this is like a Bronny game, because Bronny James game, because the Lakers should run away with this game against the Mavericks. Mavericks don't have Luka or Kyrie. And the Lakers aren't running away. I was messing with Keyshawn and Paul Pierce about it, giving it to him. And I'm just saying, the Mavericks will find the scoring. That's been the problem without those two big boys tonight. I don't know if it'll end this way, but I just had to throw that in. That's the only victory I had, 67-59 right now. If it ends up the other way, I'll talk about that some other day. I just had to throw that in. But it made me think, I'm saying, okay, they said Mavericks didn't have a chance. Why am I sitting here saying the Texans don't have a chance? Pull that back, because if C.J. Stroud goes off, that will give them a chance. I don't know if that Saturday afternoon game is still is at Ravens at 8 p.m. And here, again, I don't know I don't know how Steelers play this game. You know, I just don't see how. I'm looking for an opportunity for a way I could possibly see that Steelers can win this game. It's the hardest thing to do in a season is beat somebody 3 times. And the Steelers won that first game. Ravens won the second game. So that's not the case here. And the Steelers are coming off a skid over the last month of the season where they just haven't gone well. What I saw, man, against the Chiefs on Christmas, all of that. What I saw with them was they're not like even last week. You throw the ball, you get a perfect pass from Russell Wilson, and George Pickens dropped that ball. You can't drop the ball because that's your biggest play, that deep ball throw. So they have to tighten up. I do believe this. I believe Mike Tomlin is going to throw everything at him because he has nothing else to lose with this. I don't. I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing rotating series with the quarterback. Rotating series. He has to try everything. He has to try anything. He's going to say, "Hey, let me go with the hot hand. Anybody get me any kind of offense going. I'm willing to switch it. I want Russell to throw it. I'll put Justin Fields back in and try to make him run it. I believe that there's no doubt this game is going to be a good game because they know each other well. But I just don't see how the Steelers have a chance, man. The Ravens right now are balling, and they're playing very, very together. That's going to be the thing because they, going to the playoffs, man. That Ravens, what's just the offensive stats from the Steelers Ravens game. Right, Ravens put up 440 yards of offense, Steelers 302 yards. It's just that's what they're doing a game right here. Points per game. Here's the difference right here, and this is what I said. When they were scoring about 16, 18 points a game when Russell first took over. I said, if Russ come and put a touchdown on there, they're at 24. You get 24, 25, 26 points a game with that defense, you have a shot. You have a shot at playing something because that Steelers defense is only going to give up 16 points a game. But right now, you're averaging 16 points a game. You need that one touchdown. And Russell gave you that one touchdown early on, but now it's not happening. And they got to find and manufacture some points and some drives this week coming up in this playoff. And I just don't know how Mike Tomlin is going to do it. So I won't be surprised if he rotates quarterbacks. If he says, I got to go to the hot hand. Because here, there is no tomorrow. If we don't get it done today, there is no tomorrow. So I'm not worried about how someone feels tomorrow. I just got to get it done today if I'm Mike Tomlin, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, and try to catch these Ravens that I know so well. And that'll be a major upset. Sunday game, Broncos at Bills. I like this game. I'm scared of this game. I believe the Broncos are a scary team for how they position themselves. Let me tell you why. They're a scary team because they have a defense. And the defense can play and shut down any and everybody. Great corners. They know how to slow down the run. They know how to play football, and they take pride in Bronco land. Now, playing the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, 1 p.m. on Sunday, I've seen Pat Surtain shut down great corners. I saw what he did with Jamar Chase. I've seen him do great things. But I ain't seen nobody shut down Josh Allen. And I'm going to call Josh Allen in this game the Bronco Buster. He's going to be the Bronco buster. He's going to Bronco bust that defense right up the butt. Because I promise you, he's going to have to make some plays. His defense, he's what he. Oh, that's what I love about football, man. What you have been all year, Josh Allen, you will have to make sure you manifest here in the playoffs to get to that Super Bowl. You will have to be Superman. You cannot ever play any game as Clark Kent. All games played must be played after you come out of the phone booth as Superman. And it starts this week with the Broncos at 1 p.m. Sunday. I told you about that Packers-Eagles game already. It comes down to an injury for me, and not the injury in Philadelphia. It's the injury in Green Bay. I do got the Eagles taking care of the Packers and moving on in that game. This is the catch-all game right here that will determine everything. That if I'm telling you real dog deep truth like I always do, I don't know how to call this. This is the perfect young versus old. You know, the Bucks got a lot of established veterans, while the Commanders are trying to establish those veterans and their veterans who's going to be the catalyst for what they do, not just over the next 2-3 years, for the next 8-9 years. The Bucks and that group that won't be together for the next 8-9 years, they're trying to muster up one last hurrah to prove that we can do something post Tom Brady. We were more than just a Tom and a Brady that came scrolling through here. We put things together and we can show that we can do something without them. Hey, also, again, congrats to my man, Mike Evans. 11 straight seasons of 1,000 yards, goes and ties the record of Jerry Rice, the dude I call Jesus in cleats. 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Congrats on that, my brother. You deserve that. You're a good man. That was a $3 million bonus. $3 million. Got a lot of ideas. What he gonna do with them $3 million? But I'm just gonna keep that to myself. That Commanders Buck game can go either way for me, and it's too early right now. I'm gonna be honest. On Tuesday, it's too early for me to call it. I got to see what transpires the rest of this season. I look quarterback to quarterback. Josh Daniels. I love Baker Mayfield and all his fight. Let's go receiver to receiver. Scary Terry. He set a record also with most touchdown receptions in a single season for the Commanders. And we just talked about what Mike Evans did on the other side for the Bucks. That's why this game here is just, it's a toss-up game. And usually I got a rookie quarterback going on the road in a playoff game. I'm like, get out of here. Bucks all the way. Not this kid. You've seen this kid. I told you the great thing this kid about this game kid is he wins late. And when you can win late in this league, when you can win late, you can be great. That's why this is going to be one of those games that I'm just not ready to call right now as I stand here, sit here, talk to you on this Tuesday. That Monday night game, I am ready to call. I am taking the Rams over the Vikings in this game. And I love this game. And I'm glad they saved this game for Monday night because I believe this will be the most, I want to say, entertaining game out of all of them. Let me go. Let me think through this again. Hold on. Let me put my head around this. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. I believe for real, this will be the most entertaining game. Oh, man. And as I lay low and put my, look at this here now. Let me give you something, how close this is. Oh, look how close. 2 yards per game. Vikings, 370. Rams, 365.8. Isn't that crazy right there? Passing yards per game. Vikings, 250. Rams, 245. Rushing yards per game. Vikings, 120.2. Rams, 120.1. Points per game. This is funny because I said this would be the best game before we dropped up these stats. Points per game, 27.4, 26.9. That's basically 27, 27 if you're round and all. And on the other side, defensive stats, Vikings 21-3, Rams 23-1. Total yards allowed 340, 355. Passing yards allowed 220, 230. Dude, this is like looking in the mirror and playing the person you see. That's what this is like. Both of these teams have what I talked to you guys about, the Cooper Puka thing. And, you know, they got it also in Minnesota with Addison and Jefferson and all of those dudes going off like that. See what I'm saying? That's why I like this combination. And it gets you some points. It gets me 25, 27 points, you know, that kind of range that you'll need to be right there. That's why I say this is going to be the best game. This is going to be a great game. And Sam Darnold has to see if he can handle what was shown last week, because what Detroit did was make sure they got some pressure in front of his face, and he threw a lot of high passes, a lot of off the mark passes because of that pressure in his face. And I'm just saying, I'm sure the Rams are going to try to do just that. I want to, guys, before I even get to that, okay, you know what? That's perfect. Now we get to harmonize. Because I was just about to ask and talk to you guys, and I was going to say I want to end with the Tyreek Hill thing, but the first thing I see EM talking about when I punch up when I look up to see what you guys are saying, he asked me about this. Tyreek Hill to Dallas. EM, let me jump right on this for you, buddy. I looked at that and I said, okay, if that can happen, that would help in a great way. But I don't jump out the seat about it because I know what it will take to make that happen. I love that Michael jumped out and started recruiting him. But Tyreek Hill is going to need more money probably than CeeDee Lamb. I know he just signed another 3-year, $90 million deal with Miami at the beginning of this season. It kind of added some money on for him to make him the highest paid. And that's not going to go anywhere. That's Drew Rosenhaus. That's the guy, one of my best friends. I know he's going to always expect Tyreek Hill to be up in the top money paid. So I saw this as interesting that Michael was asking about it, because if Tyreek came, does that mean Michael has to go? You see? Or are we going to be, that kind of money? So am I willing to give off Michael to have the most powerful offense? That's something you'll have to say. I don't know about that. I really don't want to ever give up Michael Parsons, to be honest with you. I love that kid. And I see it this way too. There's a lot of duplication there. Of course, Tyreek Hill's a phenomenal player. And what we got out of Brandon Cooks this year was far, far short and wasn't enough. And Tyreek Hill, even in that role, would be insane, but we would have to feed it more and feed him more. And the issue with Tyreek Hill joining CeeDee Lamb will have a lot of duplication there. But they do a lot of the same things in the middle of the field. Now Tyreek is a pure speedster, but there will be a lot of duplications. And if I can have him, I will take him. Of course, anybody would take him. But I'm looking at the cost. Will it cost me Michael Parsons? And is it going to cost me that first pick in the draft? Because right now, with the Cowboys drafting like 12th, and with that 12th pick, I got my mind set right here. Yeah, I got it written down right here. I got my mind set on it. I don't want to tell everybody because I don't want everybody to get. I want a big time receiver, but all the mock drafts, they have Gentry going right there. Don't say that. I would absolutely approve that. insane. Let me tell you what. We say everybody wants to win championships like they know how, like they're used to. Remember the Cowboys. I came and Troy came, and then Troy and I working on that thing. And then we finally, the third year, got Emmitt Smith in. And boom, things took off. So I'm telling you, you got a Dak, you got a CD, you don't get a Gentry with a 12 pick. Don't say that. That's just between us in the locker room, man, because draft time, I don't want people messing around and just trying to move in to stop Dallas. And that's what they do. You know what I mean? That's what they do. So yeah. I love Tyreek Hill, but I'm not crazy about it being here. I don't know if it works like people think it will work with Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb, because that's a lot of duplication right there. Charles Davis, what you got now, brother? My brother, let me see. I think Lamar Jackson should win his third MVP, but they're going to give it to Josh Allen. That's okay, though, because this year's lightning flash, Jackson is going to get his first Super Bowl. I appreciate you saying that. I'm going to see if I can find my picture, because I spoke on this today. All my notes from today. But it was something I had in here. Here it is. These are, I spoke about it on TV Day. I got Lamar Jackson's numbers here when he won MVP in 2023. I got his numbers here, 2024 numbers. And then I put Josh Allen numbers over here. Now, this is what I'm saying. Last year, Lamar Jackson, 2023, the reigning MVP, won the reigning MVP with 24 touchdowns. Right now, Josh Allen has 28 touchdowns. He had 7 interceptions, Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen has 6 interceptions. He had a passer rating of 102. Josh Allen is 101. He rushed for 821 yards. Josh Allen rushed for 915 yards. I mean, yeah, Josh Allen. Josh Allen rushed for 915 yards. So it's a whole different, it's a whole different thing when you're talking about what Josh Allen is doing. And my whole thing is, I get people talking about, and Josh had 12 rush touchdowns. 12 rush touchdowns. Lamar had 5 last year. 12 rush touchdowns. We only got 5 because, and he got 4 this year because you got Big Derrick Henry. That's been my argument. Josh is doing all of this. And remember, Josh didn't play in the last game, so he could have added to these numbers. Everybody's talking about Lamar this year, right? Lamar has 4,172 yards. That's what he's throwing for, while Josh is throwing for 3,731. Lamar threw for 3,678 in his MVP year in 23. I see Josh Allen, who has done these great things with way less talent. Lamar has great talent around him. And yeah, he helped grow that talent. But he has 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers, I think, 2 Pro Bowl tight ends, and all everything running back. When the numbers get this close to me, distance traveled, and the man has done much more with less. I go Josh Allen right there. Yeah, Dallas does have that 12th pick. And there's a lot going on talking about, I'm going to take Gentry. We can take Gentry. That's just going to be a whole new thing. But speaking of that draft order, this is what's been interesting. I just got off the phone earlier. I was talking to him. I had to call him because so much is going around. The Tennessee firing the GM and everything. Deion made an eye emoji like this. So I was like, oh, okay, Tennessee getting this thing in order. And say what you will. I think that would be a move for Tennessee to say, if I want to take that quarterback, I can take the coach and the quarterback. And Tennessee has been a mess. I'm telling you right now, Tennessee has been a mess. Tennessee has been a mess. Cleveland has been a mess. Giants have been a mess. New England is a mess. Jacksonville is a mess. Las Vegas is going through it. Look at these top teams. Look at these teams. Your Jets are a mess. You guys have been a mess for a while. Deuce. The definition of insanity is to continue doing the same thing and expecting a different result. People always say that definition of insanity. Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants, now New England, Jacksonville, Vegas, Raiders, Carolina, New Orleans, Chicago. Those top 10 teams right there in the draft have been doing the same shit and expecting something different. Dude, it's a principle that will not be violated. You can't continue to put failure in and reap victory. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Shake it up. Be big enough to say, all this shit I've been trying ain't working. I'm going to call those names again. The first 10 teams drafted: Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants, New England, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, New York Jets, Carolina, New Orleans, and Chicago. Right now, you have been in a funk, a slump, trying to figure out what to do. Shake it up. If I am Tennessee, if I'm Tennessee, I'm going to look around and say, who has had success and made a remarkable difference wherever he set his feet in the scene? Let's talk about it. Wherever he sets his feet in the scenes, this man has incredible success and he leaves his mark. And that's one Deion Sanders. Everybody knows, went to Florida State. And when he left, everybody said, we want to be just like him. He's the one who went to San Francisco, won a Super Bowl, and bootlegged to Dallas and won one there. If ever you're going to leave the team that drafted you, like Atlanta drafted him, you want to say, well, I ain't leaving home unless I'm going to get some of them things. And he left home and went and got 2 rings. Each spot, he said, his foot in the sand was made better. He retired and went into coaching. This man get an opportunity after coaching all his kids in Little League and all these kids that are coming back now and telling him thank you. He gets opportunity at Low Jackson. Goes to Mississippi. Low Jackson. And what does he do? He wins. And they're still doing well there. Then he goes to Colorado. What does he do? He wins. I don't know, and I got to say this, I don't know how in the hell them 10 teams, Tennessee, Cleveland, New York, New England, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, New York Jets, Carolina, New Orleans, and Chicago ain't emptying out your damn pockets saying, what do it take, Deion, to get you here? We are tired of doing the same thing. We want to do something different, to do something differently. This insanity is killing us. Tennessee, you can get him and bring him with his quarterback son and take both sons, his DB son. You need them all. And I said you can take that Colorado hat and put on that Tennessee hat, just a logo. It's a logo change there. They're both cowboy hats. Great fishing in Tennessee. I'm just telling you guys, this blows my mind. And all you guys on them 10 teams I just talked about that ain't even looking into this, I guarantee you, you're going to be fired in 2 years or 3 years. See, the AD at Colorado knew. He said, I got to get something done. I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over again and coming up with the same results. And pretty soon, my kids going to be missing some things because I'm going to mess around and get up out of here. They're going to get me up out of here. And he made a move. He said, I'm going to do something different. How'd that work out? You see what I'm saying? That's all. That's the piece I'm going to give y'all. I let it go from here. But the talk is now, been a lot of talk about Cam Ward going to Tennessee. And I like that too, because I look at that like Cam Ward reminds me a lot of Air McNair. As a matter of fact, I was looking at it the other day, they're exactly the same size. Exactly the same size. And they play with that same recklessness. And that's what things Cam will work on making sure as he learns at the pro level, some of that stuff you just can't do. These guys are much faster. But Cam Ward is going to be a great, great pro. A great pro. I'm telling you guys, I know I want to see how this age. When I talked with Cam today, I told him, thank you for being the leader that he is. And I just talked about 10 franchises that are hurting and use that kind of a player. And I'm telling you, wherever he goes, he's going to make a difference too. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to analyze it. I can't wait to see it all. And I guess I can't wait till the draft. That's the next time we'll be back on the clock as the Dallas Cowboys try to get better. Right now, I'm just going to enjoy these playoffs. We're going to have, I think, an incredible, incredible playoffs. Trust me. Stay right here. We're going to watch it all, talk about it all, break it down it all, look into it all. It's going to be an incredible playoffs here in 2025. And it starts in just a few days, Saturday. Guys, I got to tell you too, though, this was our first stream of 2025 right here on my YouTube channel. And I'm telling you, next year, this is going to be great. I'm venturing out into my new me. We've been strapped in, working for so long. I just want to get out and meet people. That's the great thing I did, the most fun I've had this season. Because I wasn't working on the weekends. I was around people at games, as a fan, hanging out. Really had fun. Really had fun. So I'm going to continue that and get out and do a lot of things right here. I'm going to come and see you guys in 2025 and bring it all right here on the YouTube channel. We're going to have fun all year long. We're going to have a lot of fun. You guys are going to help me with a lot of fun until we get back into this season next year. You know what I mean? For the off season. Right now, we're going to have fun in the playoffs. Then off season fun. And then back into that season next year. But we're going to have some fun this off season. Thank you guys for dropping by the locker room today. I'll be dropping in and chatting with you. We're looking forward to talking to you again after round one of the playoffs this weekend. Let's chat again next week.